Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15, 16?
17.
18. Wow, I am behind. Welcome to episode 18 of Scion of the Dark House, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition gothic horror campaign. I've made sure to find the lines and veils of all of the players in the party. So if there is something such as child endangerment, blood, gore, body horror, mutilation, mutation, mold, or other such things that might cross a line for you, please take a break. Your support means a lot to us, but so does your mental health. So, where we last left the party, there were a few nightly visitations, a strange vision of a sphinx, nightmares regarding the burden of family, and a strange visitation from the proprietor of the Cuddly Rat, who gave Arthur 3 black iron arrows and told him he'll know when to use them, and no more information. They then left, and having had explored the lake house, decided to go and explore the Hedgemaze. They found it, like the lake house, also was occupied by strange mold people who seemed to congregate around a meteor that had fallen from the sky. After they decided to dip their toes in the water and burn the mold on the inside of the meteor, they found that the mold people were able to speak in human languages, or at least one of them was. And this split the party. After several incidences involving fire and a small dragon, the mold people fled to the safety of a statue of Saint Adeline covered in mushrooms that they seem to believe is an icon of a being they called Mother. After attempting to console them and arguing vehemently about what they should do about this infestation or inhabitation, they seem to be attacked by 2 bizarre-looking leopard creatures with snakes growing out of their shoulders. And that was where we left things, meaning that right now, I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative as I pull up the stat block. There it is.
Worst roll ever. I got a 10.
Uh-oh.
That is just dreadful.
13.
13 for Rerek.
I got a 14.
14 for Lark.
Percy got a 7.
Oof.
And Bruno
And then
did even worse. Bruno got a 5.
5. And now the weird leopard creatures. That one did bad.
Mm-hmm.
That one did okay.
That's dangerous.
And let me really quick. All right, so starting off, unfortunately for you, with a 15 is the first leopard creature, who is going to bound forward, and from the hissing snakes on the back of its shoulders, a cone of greenish gas exposed. That's not the right word. Is blown forth from its mouths. It smells awful. And I need everybody within a 30-foot cone, which I believe Lark, since you're flying, misses you, but it would hit everyone else, needs to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. I shouldn't have told you the DC. I'm having a great beginning of this episode. Well, if you roll a 12 or lower, warn me. Or 11 or lower, I should say.
Oh, here we go. Yes! Roll a 20.
17. I got
Whew.
14. Bruno and Percy both got 17.
Ooh. So you all Do not fall asleep. The
Ooh,
gas fills your lungs. Oh, what did Rerek get?
14.
14. Right. Okay. Okay. Thought you got something else for a moment. And you feel a bit drowsy, but you manage to haul through and stay awake. So first up is Lark.
I mean, he's still like just flying above everybody, kind of having this. It was gonna be like I don't know, a standoff with Arthur for a hot minute there, but now there's this cat spewing green noxious gas at everybody. Lark kind of just sighs and rolls his eyes, and bonus action, I'm gonna hex it, and I'm gonna say strength. And then with my action, I'm going to just Eldritch Blast, the one that tried breathing fumes.
Cool.
Oh, that's a nat 20 on 1.
A nat 20.
Yeah, nat 20 on 1 and an 8. So the nat 20 is technically a 28, but that's a crit. And then the other one is 18.
Both of those hit.
How do we? I don't think I've ever actually hit a crit. Well, no, I've hit a crit, but it's been a while. So how do we do crit?
So crits are full damage automatically, and then you roll on top of that. So I believe a single bolt of Eldritch Blast is a D10, so it would be 10. Roll the D10 again, add that to the 10, and then add, because you have Agonizing Blast, you'll add your Charisma modifier to that.
Will that also include the dice for hexing it? For the crit?
I'm going to say no, because it wasn't part of the spell that crit.
Okay.
Only damage from the thing that crits gets the crit bonuses. Everything else works as normal.
All right. So an extra 10 on top. Okay. 13. Does you need to, does it matter which one, what's force and what's necrotic in this math, or no?
No.
Okay. So 10, 13, 19 plus 8 is 27, plus the 10 from critting is 37.
Oof.
Are they dead?
No.
Or is it dead?
No, but it takes a good old chunk out of this thing. You see as it slams into this creature, it buckles under just the sheer force of the spell being hurled at it. And this inky blackness and necrotic sort of acid eating away at the flesh of this thing spreads across its back. It looks pretty damaged. Next up is Rerek.
I think I'm gonna use the magic missiles. I have 5 1d4.
If you use a second level spell slot.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I want them all to hit. Jeez Louise. Which one is which? Like,
there is one that is bounded forward and expelled, that's the word, the gas towards you. That's the one that Lark hit, and that's the one that is incredibly damaged. The other one is hanging back and has not been damaged.
okay, I just want the Commandant that's in the front to get all my hits. So that it can,
all right, so roll the damage.
Damage. 18. The damage is D20, right?
No. The damage is a D4 plus 1.
Okay, that was
for each bolt.
Let me do that again. A 2. A 3. These are after I already added the plus 1.
Okay.
A 4. A 3. And a 5.
17.
How?
Ooh. as you pummel this thing with your magic missiles, it is jolting every single time it is slammed. It looks like it is holding on for dear life. This thing is beginning to sag. It's beginning to kind of back up a little bit. It's not looking good. So next up is Arthur.
Ooh, yay. Okay, so I'm going to target the one that has not moved yet. I am going to, let me see here. Yeah, I'll use a spell slot to mark it. Let me just mark my spell slot really quick. Okay, so we're going to Hunter's Mark bonus action. And why don't we try out this Dragon Wing Bow?
Oh yes, the thing you have just received.
So we'll see if it explodes in my face.
That's what she said.
Hey, 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits easily.
I kind of figured. Okay, so I need 2 extra d6. I need a d8. Okay, so 26 before the d6 fire damage.
Oh.
And then
26.
4 fire damage. Yep, total of 30 altogether.
Oof. You unleash the arrow on this thing and it strikes a very vital part of this creature. It sinks in to the neck and the arrow burns and sears the flesh. You see the smoke come off of it as it shakes and shrieks. It is also not looking good, surprisingly.
Excellent. Yeah.
Then Jasmine?
Yes, I'm gonna have her do the same target the same creature, and we're gonna go for a pounce. And that is, yes, it's a claw and an extra bite if it fails the strength. So let me get my d20. Oof. Okay, let me see here. What is her bonus to that? That's a 15 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Excellent. Okay, so let me do damage, and then I need a strength save. Oof. Make sure I did that right. Yep, okay, so that's 7 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did it get for the strength save?
It got a 2, so that's a 5.
Okay, so that
this thing's going down.
Fails. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
so
after
I'll
the
do,
shock of getting shot in the neck, it does not see Jasmine coming as she leaps at it and just side swipes it to the ground.
That's my baby. Okay, I'm gonna roll for the bite then.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, oh my, okay, that was a 10. So I take it she doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
She goes down to try and bite it, but it manages to put a paw and push her face away. It doesn't claw it, but it manages to push her face away as it is writhing on the ground. And next up after Arthur is Percy.
Nice. I think I'm gonna just do a tried and true guiding bolt on I guess whichever one is looking a bit less injured.
So that would be the one that Jasmine just sideswiped to the ground.
Yeah, I'll do that. Did you take the D20? Yeah. All right. So that is gonna be I rolled really high. Is gonna be a 25 to hit.
A 5?
25.
25. Oh, your mic cut out for a bit. Yeah, 25 hits.
Cool. I'm just doing it regular, so we'll do 4d6 radiant damage. That is 16 radiant damage.
Oof. Yeah, after you conjure up all of this divine energy from Saint Hypatia and hurl it forward at this thing, it's looking super rough. It is looking about as rough as the first one does.
Nice.
And so next up is Bruno.
If you attack the one I just attacked, you have advantage. Why? Because it's my spell. That's what it does.
I'm gonna attack the one Percy attacked because then I won't have advantage.
So you do have to run up to it, so you'll be using some of your movement speed.
Okay.
So you can definitely attack it.
All right. I rolled a 5.
And a 14. That's in total 21 to hit.
21 to hit.
All right, so that definitely hits it. So roll damage.
What do I do? Am I doing an attack or what?
you roll your D8 and add your strength to it.
What am I doing? Divine Smite?
If you want to.
I'm going to use Divine Smite.
Cool. What level are you using?
Level 1.
All right. So it's an extra 2d8 radiant damage.
So that's 8 damage from the first die, and then you do 2d8 again. So 8 from the first, and then
6.
14, and then one more. 6, and then 20.
Yeah, you bring your flail down on this thing with a single hit. You cave its skull in, and with a blast of light that sears the body, a good maybe front third of it is just blasted to hell and back. There is nothing but burnt meatloaf, and it is dead. However,
yeah, Julius.
that was the one that was going to act next. Okay, so it's back up to the top with
Paladins get 2 attacks on their turn.
Also, Julian is here.
Oh, right. All right. So yeah, you have an extra attack and you have Julius.
Go roll your other attack.
So I'm gonna attack the other cat.
Yeah.
Well, so you move over to the other cat. Cool.
I got a 6.
16.
That's a 9. It's a 9.
16 to hit.
16
yeah, that definitely hits.
So
Roll
roll my
You
D8.
can divide by if you want.
I got 1.
That's only 6 damage.
So why don't I divine smite?
You can if you want.
I'm gonna divine smite. I'm gonna do it again.
All right. How many spell slots do you have left?
Eli has
0.
Yeah, this is his last divine smite of the day. Of level 1 at least.
But it's
okay.
a good one. It's a good choice. I made the right choice.
So roll 2 more d8s.
2.
And
3.
so not too much more. So that's I think 11 damage in total.
But we still have Julius.
Oh yeah, Julius.
Yeah. You smack this thing again from behind, just over and between the shoulders. Another blast of light, but this time it is holding on. It looks like it's about to tip over, but there is a significant portion of the back that has turned into the burnt meatloaf, but it is still alive.
Yum.
How do I roll for Julius?
I think we're using a pseudo dragon sting, but just replacing the effect.
With a 15-foot range.
Yeah, his little breath weapon.
Yes.
Roll what?
D20.
Yeah.
4. It's only 8 from Julius to hits.
Is Julius gonna miss?
Oh.
From the blast of light, it seems your dragon is a bit disoriented, and the flame goes over, barely singeing the hair. but not
Tracks
hitting.
for Julius.
And now we are back up to the top with the original creature. So now,
Very brave.
But don't I? Or, oh yeah, the creature is up above.
yeah,
For when he's not.
it is going to turn around and it is going to, with its paw, try and swipe you. And it gets a 23 to hit.
Oh my.
Yes, hitting Bruno. So that, I think that hits.
Oh yeah, there's no way it doesn't.
Yeah, that'll hit.
How much damage am I taking?
So that's
Fine.
8 point, wait. Yeah, that's 8 points of piercing damage.
Gotcha.
And then the snakes on its back are going to all lunge forward and attempt to bite you. Good thing it has the same bonuses for every single one of its attacks. And as the snakes come towards you, you raise your arm and they just bite onto the armor, dealing no damage whatsoever. And it's going to attempt to flee from you. So you get an attack of opportunity as it begins to turn tail and run. If you would like to
Bruno
take it,
has
you
no
don't have to take it if you don't want to.
Come on.
But of course
This
you're going
is
to take
Bruno.
it. It's
I had a
Bruno.
nagging fear that the cats were going to be like, wait, we can talk too.
Mhm.
That's a +7. That's a 16 to hit.
Yes, that hits. And just with your, it had 2 hit points. Just
Yeah.
from your strength modifier alone, you would have killed it. So as it turns, you just whack, hit it with your flail again, and it just goes down, goes limp onto the floor. And
Good.
both of these creatures are dead. And we are out of initiative.
Do we get to eat the meatloaf now?
It's very burnt, but if you want to, you can.
When that one dies, I'm just gonna move my hex onto some of the mold people, just maintaining concentration. I'm just gonna curse them.
Sure,
Just
you can.
casually.
There's
Sylvan.
definitely the slightly taller mold person with a staff and a cloak of leaves that you can aim for.
Sure,
Very big and obvious.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'll just move the hex onto him and choose wisdom if he needs to make any wisdom checks.
Do it while
Okay.
the nice guys are distracted.
Yeah, that's exactly what Lark does. Just a little whisper in Sylvan, just a shadow moving, maybe a chill running up that guy's spine. Or lack thereof, he's a mold person.
Yeah, you're not sure if these things have bones or not. If they're just like giant felt toys with nothing in them.
Mhm.
Right.
At this point in time, the mold person with the staff says something in a language that you don't understand, and the other mold people begin to creep forward towards the cats laying on the ground.
Okay.
Are they eating them?
You don't know.
No, it's like the decaying factor or something. Like nutrients for the soil.
I guess Percy feels very unsure of what is happening and where he should stand in it. So I think Percy, I still have tongues prepared, because I thought we might talk to the frogs again.
Yeah.
What do we know what they're speaking? What the guy spoke?
Can I cast tongues on myself and see what they're all saying?
Yes, you may.
Yeah. So what am I picking up here?
They're not speaking at the moment.
Okay.
they are just kind of creeping forward, and you do watch as they begin to like put their weird hands on
Yeah.
these bodies, and mold begins to spread over the corpses of these cats.
Oh. What are you doing?
Mother has given us food. We must eat.
Oh,
Hmm.
right. And then what?
And then more of us.
It's the circle of life, Percy.
Okay. I turned to the guys. I'm just really not sure where I should stand in all of this. Like, I even I feel kind of bad for killing the cats now. Just the whole thing is. I feel so thrown off.
Well, they were pretty clearly aggressive. I feel no shame.
Yeah,
in
I
killing
know,
those
but then one
things.
tried to run. I don't know. I was having a lot of feelings about this that I don't really know how to process.
Did the
Oh,
cat
they tried
speak to
very
you
hard
or
to.
something?
Yeah, no people are just saying they're hungry and they're gonna eat, and then there'll be more of them. And I still
They're
don't know if
going
that's
to
like.
keep spreading.
You mean
Yeah.
like every other race on the planet?
Can we just
I
grab
know.
a chunk of the orichalcum and leave?
I mean, you
Sure.
can if you want. I have no interest in that giant rock.
I'm amazed that you took the little thing of the monster, but you're not interested in orichalcum.
No, what the hell am I going to do with a rock? To be perfectly frank, I was thinking about seeing if I could harvest some of that venom, poisonous gas, or whatever, but now it's being presumably entirely consumed by mold, so that's not going to work out.
I think in like a last ditch effort, Percy's like he's gonna go up to the leader of the mold people and just be like, You're not evil, right? You're like neutral, or like what can I just need you to really throw me a bone here.
He just stares at you very confused. It's clear that he understands what you've said,
Yeah.
but he does not know what these things are. He doesn't know what neutral and evil are.
Right. Well, I'll be keeping an eye on you. So no funny business. Okay, we can go.
How do I harvest some of the orichalcum?
You could probably give it a whack with a heavy object and see if something falls off.
It's orichalcum.
My flail. Yeah.
You can certainly try. Give me. Actually, it's not that hard to hit, so just roll damage.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna miss.
I got an 8.
Plus 5. 13.
Plus 5. Okay, yeah. You hit this. A chunk or two does fall off.
Like,
Like maybe palm size chunks.
okay.
It seems to break in layers.
Mhm.
Not so much like just fall off as a chunk, but it seems to almost have layers like a slate or a shale of some kind.
Can I do my bludgeoning attack on it with my staff?
You can certainly try, roll damage.
Okay. Which one is it?
I think it's a D6 for your quarterstaff,
Okay.
plus your strength, whatever your strength is.
So it's a 6, and my strength is. Holy crap, I can't see shit. 13.
Not bad. You hit it with your staff, and not as big of a chunk comes off, but pieces come off. It's a pretty tough rock, but you can definitely break pieces of it off. So you probably have a good, like if you cupped your hands, you could probably fill it with the stuff that's come off. But it's not like a solid chunk.
We can't make anything out of that. But I will take it as like raw material and study it or whatever.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Here you go, Arthur. Put this in your bag.
So I take it the entire party has decided to move back to where this rock landed rather than at the statue.
Isn't that where it was?
No, the statue
where
was
we
a bit
fought was
away.
Yeah, we were at the statue.
Hey.
So
I'm gonna say Arthur's just kind of chilling, like waiting for you. Are you guys done yet?
Oh, okay. I'm done. Let's
I
leave.
think Percy's with Arthur, feeling in a rare moment of camaraderie with Arthur.
Yeah, don't get used to it.
Lark's kind of just circling overhead for a minute. Just like watching this fungus spread. And like, I don't know, there's an amount of like disdain in his eyes that isn't normal. Like, I don't know. Grantha wouldn't be pleased if he didn't do anything about this.
And I will say the mold people have like stopped weirdly touching the animals and have gone about their daily business, which seems to be a combination of admiring leaves and fixing their homes. They're constantly looking to expand their little domes, and they're also very interested in the Hedgemaze leaves, which they find to be lovely and fascinating, and they like to admire them. And a lot of them have collections of little leaves that they seem to keep.
But aren't they killing the Hedgemaze just by being there?
Maybe.
We can't. They have little collections. We can't. Come on.
I don't like how quiet you are up there. Why don't you come down here
Bigger people
with the rest of
bigger
us mortals?
collections.
Let's just walk out of the maze and then decide.
Little collections.
Yeah, and I've killed bigger people with bigger collections.
Wait, are we still in the maze? Did we leave already?
Yeah, you were still in the maze.
Yeah.
When Rerek says that, Lark's gonna kind of just fly down to him and be like, finally, someone with some sense.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
I mean, what, Arthur? Would you like me to pay you so I can kill them?
I mean, no, I would not. Don't look. Percy's decided to let these things live, presumably. Don't you owe him some kind of, I don't know, debt of gratitude for saving your tiny little winged life or something like that?
Who says we haven't repaid that twice over at this point?
I don't know. You're still here.
Maybe I just find you lot entertaining enough, but I haven't tried leaving yet.
Well, then
It's
perhaps
okay, I have
it may be
something-
just as entertaining to see what happens if we let these things live.
There is
Who knows?
something.
It could be some delightful chaos.
I have a surprise. I have something entertaining for you once we get out of this maze. If
All right. Well, since we've collectively decided to not kill the mold people,
For now,
let's-
apparently.
I did not agree to
leave.
that.
I haven't agreed yet, it's just that we're running out of time.
Running out of time.
Fair enough. Daily forward
yeah.
then.
Yes. Let's get out of this maze, please.
So which way are you heading?
So towards the house or away from it? Are you asking?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's still pretty. It's like early-ish in the day, right?
Yeah. Probably late morning at this point.
All of that happened in one morning. It's not even noon yet. Are you serious?
Nope.
Okay.
So I'll turn to the boys and be like, well, should we go to the house or circle back and go to the vineyard and approach the house from the front?
I don't see any reason to put it off any longer.
Probably true.
I mean, at the rate we're going at, why don't we check the vineyard and see what other sort of
Now,
monster?
which option is closest to the nearest train station?
There are no trains in this universe.
Well,
Look, you're welcome to leave anytime.
What's
How
a
about-
train?
How about we'll take your help with the vineyard. We can clear out the grounds of the house with Bruno's help, and then we can help him get to Darkmoor tomorrow to hopefully find a way back home.
Well, if that's the plan, then
Well-
I'll definitely be needing something decent to drink. The vineyard it is.
Yeah, I guess we'll head the way we came out of the maze.
Yeah, like I said, the maze is kind of set up in a very lovely sort of Versailles sort of way where there's huge main thoroughfares that you can just follow straight out of the garden. It's not a hedge maze that's meant to trap you in. It's a hedge maze that is meant to be used for entertainment, but not block the way of major trade routes and things of that nature. So you go back out of the hedge maze, past the cemetery, and you get to the intersection in the road, and I presume you then head by the lake house.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to go through the maze again if we want to go to the house?
No.
Yes and no. You would have to
thought we
go
could
through
have-
the area that the maze occupies, but you do not have to like physically do the maze to get to the house. You can just walk straight through the maze. It has a giant sort of
So is it okay if I just burn the maze as we move outside?
if you want to, you certainly can. I'm not going to stop you.
Please don't. Oh, Rerek, what are you doing? Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Just you
we
turn
decided we
around and
weren't
Rerek
doing
is
that.
slowly moving a ball of fire towards the nearest hedge
No.
with like pyro.
I just spit fire on it.
Are you actually doing that?
I don't know, yo.
Because if you do, this thing is
don't
going to go
know.
up. It's
This is your
it's
decision.
dry.
Because Yofi just
What did I? Don't get me involved in this. If Rarek's gonna make some sort of stupid decision, I want no parts of it.
okay, I'll do it. This is for you, Lark.
Yeah, you all are walking out of the hedge maze, and as you do, you suddenly something's burning, and you turn, and a good maybe 50 feet of the hedge maze is a roaring inferno that is
What?
very quickly spreading.
And then I just go, oh, it did want to be set on fire.
What?
What in the name of all the alcohol in existence have you done?
Lark's
The hedge
only
maze.
reaction to this whole thing is he kind of just floats over and pecks Rerek on the cheek. And he's just like, thank you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Girl with the burning house meme. Insert that in here. You know, like,
So Arthur just kind of like, after admonishing Rerek, like stares into the flames, obviously traumatized and quite a bit shaken, and just remains silent and wide-eyed for the rest of the walk.
And it is spreading quickly. As you walk out of the hedge maze,
Yeah.
probably half of the hedge maze is on fire. You turn around and it is a wall of flames with the gate in front of it silhouetted in this just inferno.
Bruno is here for the carnage. Julius helped.
it was the
When-
small dragon. It wasn't me. It was the not real dragon.
When Lark noticed that going on, maybe when he was pecking Rerek's cheek, he just flicked his fingers a little, just a few sparks from prestidigitation. just a little fire. Just a little helping it go.
Yeah, by the time you get to the chapel, there is no fire anymore. It is just smoke and ash. There is nothing left of the Hedgemaze.
But at least we can get the
Percy's just like kind of stuttering. Why?
I studied utilitarianism, and I feel like that made sense.
So, in the interest of good role playing, although it's not going to help the party, I'm going to say for the sake of mechanics that Arthur is frightened for like the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and give myself disadvantage
I feel so bad.
on ability checks and attack rolls
Oh my
for the rest of
god.
this day.
I mean, you know what?
no.
I'm gonna let you do it because it makes sense.
Yeah.
That roaring inferno is on par with what you've witnessed before in a very different situation.
Yeah, really not great from a PTSDs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you definitely see that Arthur is visibly shaken by this. It is not hard to spot. And Jasmine is probably also acting funny just because she senses all of that sort of anxiety and panic kind of wafting off of you. She's definitely acting funny. There is not really much hiding it.
I just became everyone's least favorite character then.
Oh, you're Lark's favorite now.
Yeah, and the mold people are probably dead.
Probably.
Yay, we win. Not to worry, Percy, we will rebuild it. Rebuild the bush. Yep. Yeah. It'll be bushier than ever. Okay.
Oh, Percy, we could grow you quite the garden back
I
there.
just need a second.
The ash would be great for the soil.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's just go to the vineyard. We can unpack that tonight, later. When
So in stunned silence, you pass the graveyard, you pass the chapel, you pass the crossroads, and you come up toward and you come up towards the lake house.
Eat it, bitch.
Eat it.
And it seems, interestingly, that nothing has changed around the lake house. The frog people are still going about their work. It seems while they do take notice of you,
Inferno?
it doesn't seem like they've been phased by it. If they have, it's kind of hard to tell. They are very froggy. And walking through, I think your tongues is probably still up.
Yeah.
For a little bit, for a little bit
hour.
longer. It's probably going to go soon. But as you're walking, the frog people are just going about their day, you know, discussing what they might eat for lunch, discussing what chores they still have to do, asking how each other's family has been since the last time they stopped by, other things of that nature, just going about their little froggy business. And then you pass the lake house and off into the forest, where I need to check my notes. The lushness of the forest significantly fades as you continue walking along the path. And you get to a place where there are wide open fields. The woods still line the area, and there's some trees here and there, but there's definitely wide open fields. And you see coming up in the distance several barns and fences. And the air around here shifts. It feels a little bit colder than it should. Vegetation isn't quite growing in the same way. The grass seems a bit short for having been left this long. The trees seem to be in the process of dying, but not dead yet. It's very bizarre. Shadows also seem to move in strange ways as you continue walking towards what seem to be stables. And as you get closer, you realize, in a really bizarre way, it's functioning. There are horses being led around by stable hands, being brushed and tended to. There are horses.
By like people, stable hands? Or...
Yes, people.
And just with a cursory glance, they don't seem like ghosts or zombies or something. Or frogs.
From far away, doesn't seem like it. But as you get closer, yeah, they're undead.
Okay.
They are
frogs or
just undead stable hands, undead horses, just being led around, brushed, taken care of, being washed. It's as if they're just repeating the day. As you approach, they don't seem to notice you at first. And then they do. And one of them comes up. And there is, as he looks at you, Percy, a hint of recognition in a weird way. This guy's doesn't have hair at all. He's just bald. The skin is pulled incredibly tight over the jaw. There are no lips. It's just teeth. The side of his uniform is hanging open, and you can see his exposed rib cage. And he walks up to you, and he kind of shifts his jaw, and there's this weird, almost wooden cracking noise as he does. And he goes, "Ah, master, I see you've come back for a day of riding. Is there any one of your horses that you might want to ride today?"
I just like look back at the guys. What is happening? And, right. Perhaps my fastest horse.
After like today's events, and now there's undead. This is fucking great. I'm loving it. Above game. He's just like visibly shaken, says absolutely nothing, and just starts slowly taking steps backwards away from the undead creature.
And he goes, "Ah, yes, I will go fetch him now. Would your newfound friends like horses as well?
I
We
would like a
always
horse.
love visitors."
I would like to ride a horse.
"Wonderful. I'll fetch the biggest one." And he turns and he's like almost at this point hobbles away. Like his legs stiffened up with excitement as he's just running towards the stables.
I want to shoot him.
You certainly can.
I'm firing my I'm gonna fire my bow at it. I'm firing my bow.
Let me flip to the stat block.
Oh, sorry, 27 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
16 damage.
Yeah, it thuds into him, and he kind of whirls around completely bewildered, looking at this arrow sticking out of him, but he doesn't make any aggressive motions.
Shoot him again.
Roll again.
Do it again.
Arthur, maybe they don't seem hostile.
Arthur literally doesn't even hear, like not at all. Doesn't
Yeah.
even register he's being spoken to. 14 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. 16 damage.
Yep. He's still standing, but he's just still absolutely and utterly shocked. And he just goes, why is this a robbery? Are we getting robbed? Are you here for the horses?
I'm trying not to laugh for the sake of good
Bewildered
roleplay.
look
I
in
think
his
Percy-
eyes.
Percy totally understands where Arthur's coming from in all of this. As Percy doesn't love the undead himself, but I think out of a desire, this is someone who seemingly knows his family and he can tell him more. I think Percy's gonna like run over to the zombie and just be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Arthur. Maybe we calm down a little bit. Maybe we just." Percy's positioning himself between Arthur and the zombie.
Can we make that a persuasion check?
Sure.
Most certainly can.
Well, I'm asking DM, like, what would that be? What would that be against? Like, are you just going to set a DC, or do you want that to be against one of my scores
I think
here?
it should probably be against something. I'm just not sure of what at the moment it would be against.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe just my charisma.
Yeah, I'm thinking your charisma is probably a good. Just make a
Okay.
charisma check, and
I got a
whoever's
15.
is higher.
Okay. You got a what?
I got a 15.
Okay. I'm gonna say Arthur just like slowly lowers the bow, still not quite sure what's going on.
Lark, why don't you and Arthur go for a bit of a walk?
I'm just gonna like kind of float towards him and be like, just let Percy do some investigating and then you can slaughter them.
He might be able to tell
Slaughter.
us something.
Yeah, slaughter.
We've talked to intelligent undead before. Need I remind you about the bad movie?
Yeah. Okay.
Keep your wits about you, or else you'll probably wind up like one of these poor bastards.
Arthur just kind of like hugs his bow to his chest, like not quite sure what to do.
Percy definitely makes a mental note to check in with Arthur later.
Do you have like, I don't know, like a calming spell or something? Like it'll ease his mind.
Emotions, but I think it's a little manipulative. Yeah, so I think if Lark is gonna distract Arthur a little bit, Percy's gonna go talk to the zombies. I am so sorry about that. Here, and I take out my medicine kit and like pretend to do some medicine to his stomach.
Yeah, as you do that, you see his eyes glaze over for a second, and it's almost like he's buffering, just standing there. And then, "Oh, hello, master. Would you like a horse to ride?"
Right, yes.
A robot.
I'd love to inspect my stables, yes.
Yes. "Oh, would your friends like to ride? I see you've brought a few of them." Just completely just restarted.
Right, yeah, I'm sure they would. Why don't we take a walk inside? I'd love to see how you and the other stable hands are handling things.
Of course. And he walks you through the stables, and he's kind of, just talking to the stable hands that are there, who are also undead, going through these tasks like shoeing horses. And you notice the horses, they're bizarre. They seem to be somehow both skeleton, zombie, and ghost at the same time. There are parts of these horses that are just ghost. Their manes are smoke flowing off of them, as are their tails. Their hooves give off a little bit of smoke as they kind of trot in place or gallop around, being led around. There is definitely elements of them that are ghostly. There are elements of them that are zombified. There are elements of them that are just bone, but they seem to be entirely intact.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, Percy definitely takes a second, but this is kind of dope as fuck. And
it seems like the stable is just operating as if this were nothing more than an average day, as if they didn't even realize that they're undead.
So this is definitely like, I think Percy is feeling very weird about this, as Percy has a lot of inherent necrotic things about his whole persona. So he feels a bit of a kinship with these strange undead servants. As I'm being led around, I guess I'll turn to I'm assuming this guy is in charge if he's the one talking to me. What's your, I'm sorry, forgive me, I've forgotten your name. How long have you been serving my family?
And he just kind of looks, and for a moment, you see a realization. And then the blank look takes over, and he buffers for a second. And then he goes, well, would you like to see another one of the horses? As if just reset.
Sure, right, yes. Have you noticed anything strange going on the grounds of the house?
No, why? Has something happened?
No, just checking up on some rumors. Seems like you're running a very well-kept establishment here. You're taking good care of my family's horses.
Yes, we wouldn't have it any other way.
I think Percy's just kind of realizing he's not going to get much out of these guys probably. But I don't know if he wants to kill them, or would it be a mercy to kill them? He doesn't know.
They're gonna have to be killed eventually. You can't just have a bunch of creepy undead horse folks when you revitalize the manor.
I kind of want an undead horse.
No,
I kind of want
you
one.
can't. Not proper.
I think Percy's I might have to take a rain check on taking the horses out for a ride. My companions and I have a bit of work to attend to, but perhaps in the near future we will definitely be coming back.
Ah, of course. Yes, they'll definitely be ready.
As we're walking, can I make some sort of perception or investigation checks? I guess perception. I don't know what we're investigating. Just perception for, like, I don't know, some kind of magic fuckery going on here, some kind of zombie nonsense.
You certainly can.
Would it at least? I guess at least flavor wise, I'll probably use my grave cleric, like eyes of the undead, just like. Have some sort of logic for what I'm looking around for.
Yeah, I will say when you use it, everything that is not a member of your party that is a living thing is undead.
Like even the plants?
Oh, not the plants. The plants are not undead, but the horses.
Gotcha.
Even you see a few dogs around that are undead. The stable hands. Everything is undead except for your party members.
Yeah. All right. I guess perception is good. Oh, I got a nat 20.
Ooh.
And I have a +7, so.
Ooh. You do notice, unlike a lot of the other sort of undead that you've encountered, there's definitely a strangeness that you haven't seen before. Their eyes have definitely rotted out of their heads, and in their place is something that you haven't seen before. A single pinprick of green light where their pupil would be. And this is everything. Horses, dogs, people, everything. You've never seen this before in any undead that you've encountered.
And this could 100% just be Colton trying to trace lines between unconnected things. But does Percy's magic is often green. Do I get any sort of insight here about, is this like what I do? Is this something to do with me?
It probably isn't.
Okay.
It is a different green. Your green is definitely a sickly green, where this one is kind of strangely like a peacock or emerald green.
Cool.
But there definitely is kind of a idea that something can be traced between just simply through family, possibly.
Yeah.
But you don't know what it is.
Can I use identify on that? I mean, you can ask me to. I don't have to.
I don't think you can identify creatures.
You could try an Arcana check to see if you can suss out what weird magic shit's going on.
You definitely could.
Zombies.
If you'd like to make an Arcana check, you certainly can.
Are we talking to me or to Rerek?
Rerek.
Go for it, Rerek.
Okay. Let's do it. It was 5. Amazing. Oh, wait, I want to use my portents.
You can use your portent.
Did I do them yet?
You might not have rolled them.
I don't
After
think we
the long rest?
did.
I don't think we did do a long rest.
No,
Never
we
mind, I've
didn't.
used
So
them.
you don't have portents at the
I've
moment.
used them up. I think, yes. Because I have them written down. So never mind. It's a 5.
Yeah. So you definitely know that there's some ambient necrotic magic that does this on occasion. Sometimes things will just rise up from the grave with no input from other outside wizards or clerics or other things like that. But there's so many different things that could cause this to happen that you can't even begin to guess what might be
Bruno
happening.
doesn't care why it happened. He just thinks we should get rid of him.
I'm sure he does.
I think Percy walks back out of the stable house, definitely looking kind of sad. They don't. They're stuck in some kind of living what they thought their lives used to be, I guess. But they could be of some use to us. Those horses, though undead, look strong and fast, and they're loyal to me. So
Perhaps I could ride one back to Caliber.
perhaps I have absolutely no idea if that is a possibility, but
I like to think I'll get halfway there and then they'll just.
Sure. If after you help us clear out this the vineyard, if you want to take one of the undead horses, you may catch some strange looks from people as you travel, but I think it would be a good steed.
If it's anything like riding a bike, I'm sure I can handle it.
In the back of his mind, Lark's just like, well, he doesn't say it out loud, but he's like, the other spectral undead we've run into drained people's life force with a scream. So I wonder how smart riding those things are. He doesn't say it out loud. Kind of just giggles to himself when the thought crosses his mind.
Arthur sees Percy walking back out and just start kind of confused, start sort of raising his bow again.
And then I just go
No,
lower his arm with the bow.
not undead, not undead.
Okay.
Don't worry, Arthur. We'll find something for you to kill sooner or later.
Kill them all.
So why don't we just continue onto the vineyard?
Kill them?
Maybe not yet. Maybe not. They could still be useful, I think.
Kill them?
I can spit fire at it again if it wants to leave.
No,
No fire!
Please do not burn down. But this is technically my property now, so I think I'd like it to not be burned. So
Mark's eyebrow kind of just raises as it dawns on him just how horrified of fire that Arthur is, and he kind of just mental note.
Yeah, as like a side note, I probably am not going to be using that dragon wing bow for a good long while. Like terrified that the house is going to burn down around us.
Yeah. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of horrible things for us to kill in the vineyard. We can't go 3 for 3 on friendly things. Or 4 for 4.
I don't know your definition of friendly. We ran into a frog despot, an infectious spread of fungal life forms from another plane, and intelligent undead that appear to be in eternal servitude to your family. That's
So
3.
I think odds are the next one should be trying to kill us.
Where does Bruno
Arthur's
fall in
just
all
gonna
this?
Arthur's just like petting Jasmine like absent-mindedly as she like circles around his feet, like.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhat a little bit crazy as you're just. Jasmine is also kind of a little bit alarmed
from the stables.
How long was Percy in the stables?
Probably somewhere maybe like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Not that long.
Yeah. So yeah, Percy just tries to usher people towards the vineyard so they don't kill his new zombie friends.
Yeah. So as you approach the vineyard, you round the bend in the pathway. The trees clear and you see a lovely looking house or building that would definitely be somewhere that people working at this vineyard would be going for perhaps lunch or to sleep or other things like that. It's a very lovely house with a sort of round tower that is at the side of it. And there's definitely a large field of grapes. You also hear the buzzing of flies, lots of flies. You also smell blood, lots of blood. And as you walk, your feet begin to squish into the dirt of the dirt road that has turned into mud. And as you look down, you realize that it's not water that's created the mud, it's blood.
Oh, gross.
I tried to make a joke, but I was muted.
Oh no.
Reason 111, I'm grateful I never have to touch your mortal soil.
How lucky for you.
So are the grapes
Like normal looking grapes that look like edible?
Blood grapes.
Surprisingly, yes, they look like nice purple grapes
I'm gonna go
growing
to
on these vines.
Bruno wants to eat one.
Bruno hungry.
You shove them in your mouth and you begin to chew on the grapes. Yeah, these grapes don't have grape juice, they have blood.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I knew it.
It's the vampire.
I knew they were going to
wine.
be blood grapes.
And as you kind of look, I'm assuming Bruno does not like daintily pick off one grape from this bunch at a time. You just bite into it like it's a hunk of meat. And as you pull back, flies and mosquitoes all just dog pile onto this as this new exposed blood is flowing out. And they just start feeding on this thing. And even after you presumably drop it back onto the ground, these things follow.
Are there are there like buildings like in sight or like at the end of this path or something?
There's only the building that presumably is the place where like the wine is pressed and stored and other things like that. But other than that, there isn't another building, but you can see the house off in the distance.
Can I do a vibe check?
Yes, you may.
While he's doing that, Arthur just like, he doesn't even see what's happening with the grapes or anything. He's just going to keep walking towards the closest building he can see, completely unfazed by whatever's happening around him.
Cool. Where the hell are you going?
So your vibe check is 60 feet?
60 feet, yeah.
And it's undead, celestials, fae, fiends, and that's it, or elementals as well?
I was going to say elementals or aberrations.
Aberrations. It's aberrations. Not within 60 feet.
Cool.
Okay.
Based on where Lark like is from, can I do like a history check or anything to see if any of this seems vaguely familiar? Like I grew up with fucked up plants around me, right?
Sure.
Let me check here. That is going to be, oh, my intelligence modifier is 0, so that's an 18 with nothing added to it.
Oh. I wouldn't say that you've encountered anything specifically like this, where the grapes are growing and then they are made of blood. There are definitely plants that were made by various fae that do grow specific things that aren't naturally grown on plants. Like there are definitely a few fae that have, of course, the plants that birthed you, and countless other fae of various varieties. There are definitely plants that grow things like gold and diamonds. There are definitely plants that grow things like baked goods, like cupcakes. It's not uncommon for an Archfey to create some kind of plant that would grow something that they would want. Presumably human magic, even if it pales in comparison to the magic of the Archfey, can probably replicate something like that if they tried hard enough. This is probably a result of that, possibly.
Lark's just going to be like, oh, how novel! And he's going to use Mage Hand to start getting, like, just bundles of these grapes and be like, Arthur, open your pack. We take some of these with us.
We're taking
keep
the
walking.
blood grapes.
And then I
You
just
just
pull
keep-
him, and I just pull Arthur back, and here you go. Boop.
I'd like to think that as you pull him back, like by the strap of his pack, he's still walking in place, just making a groove in the ground as he's just walking in place.
I guess while that's going on, I might approach Arthur and think, I know you're not, if you're, well, you're in your head a bit now, but I've gotten sort of used to having your sense before we go into buildings, and I'm scared to go in blind. Would you want to maybe do your thing?
Do my
Okay.
what?
Yeah, I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. Percy's like, oh, tonight we are having a talk. There's going to be some therapy tonight.
Do you do therapy too?
He's read some psychological textbooks. That's about it.
I mean, med school, you probably had a couple of classes on that
Yeah.
at least. Yeah, so the building isn't
I
that
guess
far
Arthur can just
away.
come
If you,
in.
yeah. I'm just looking at some things.
I have a feeling like there's gonna be
yeah.
a vampire or something.
So you head into the building. There is definitely blood stains in this building. Lots of blood stains. They seem to take the form of footprints, bare feet, handprints, splatters on the floor, as if not so much arterial spray. Percy would probably know it. It's not arterial spray. It's not a bleeding wound. It's as if somebody just upended a bucket or tried to drink from a bucket. And there's just that all over the place. There are also a lot of flies in this building.
Okay.
But it
Percy,
seems to
girlfriend
be...
Great. I'm sorry.
It seems to have been set up to be sort of a living quarters. There's a couple of chairs. There's a table with some chairs around it. It seems like people might have lived here. There's also a very obvious sort of door to the cellar that presumably the wine press and wine storage would be in.
Let's go to the cellar.
That's where Arthur's headed.
They don't let us drink in the Caliburn military. I miss it.
Well, it's probably just blood down there. Are we not worried about the potential for like vampires or like some sort of spellcaster that did all of this? Like this is some pretty
Still
impressive.
walking.
Should I just grab him again by like
Are we sure it's magic?
The grapes are made of blood.
Maybe. Maybe it's raspberry jam.
You put it in your mouth. You've had it in your
Who
mouth.
said it was blood?
Okay, maybe it is blood, but what if the wine is still wine?
I think Percy's just sort of realizing there's not much at this point. He can't fend Arthur off for too long. So it's probably just time to let the beast loose and hope for the best.
I'm drawing short swords. He's just going to draw two. It says nothing, just drawing short swords, standing at the entrance to the cellar, staring down the stairs.
Percy, I hope whatever is down there is not friendly. Please let it not be friendly.
Yeah,
oh,
as you
it's not
head
moss
down,
person or mold person.
So as you head down into the cellar, it is dark in the cellar. There seems to be no
Can
lights,
Julius
of
do
course.
his little sneeze thing?
Percy will do the light cantrip.
Yeah, so you light the way with your light cantrip, and as you go down into the basement, yeah, it is covered in blood. There is a very thin, still wet layer of blood on the floor.
Are we sure it's not wine?
It smells like blood.
The smell we can infer, but there's nothing in here.
And there is a huge wine press. There's definitely places where grapes are stored, waiting to be pressed. There are also stations that appear to be places where people might crush grapes with their feet. And there are racks on racks on racks of wine in bottles. Along the wall, there's aisles of it, casks of it. There is definitely, hopefully, wine.
Can I pick up a bottle and read what it says if it has like a label on it?
It interestingly does not have a label on it. It is just a green wine bottle with a cork in it.
I guess we'll uncork it and give it a smell.
Yeah, you uncork it and you give it a smell. There's wine in there. There's also blood in there.
What's it, looks like some vampires are having a bit of a wine tasting. I don't know what to do about all of this. I think maybe this would be an appropriate time to burn things down. Wait, no, never mind. Percy
He's gonna close his eyes.
Actually, never mind.
He's closing both his eyes.
Lark's gonna float towards Arthur and kind of just whisper in his ear, "You should go check that press."
Arthur, can I do primeval awareness?
Yes, you can.
For the record, he doesn't, like, for some flavor, Arthur doesn't actually realize what he's doing. Like, he's just kind of doing this on instinct at this point.
Yeah.
So it's not information he's going to share. If he finds anything, he's just going to start walking that way with swords drawn.
Yeah, there's definitely at least something running around the vineyard. Of course, there's definitely the sense of like the graveyard and other places around, like the stables and places like that. But there is something in the vineyard itself, not in the building, but in the vineyard.
Okay, so in response to what Lark asked, Arthur's just gonna kind of like look at him, look back at the press, look at him, and then turn around and start walking back up the stairs.
Okay. I guess there's nothing down here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna follow Arthur back up and make sure he doesn't get himself killed.
Lark's gonna look towards Rerek and be like, "Do you think we broke him?"
Definitely.
Well, that's disappointing. I had plans.
We have Percy. He'll fix them.
You hear me go? I catch the tail of it. This is definitely on you guys. This is 100% on you.
What's Bruno doing?
He don't care.
What am I doing?
Drinking the blood wine.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to spit out the blood.
Swallow the wine. I think it's sort of mixed together.
I'm trying to separate it in my mouth.
Lark's gonna be like, "Rerek, would you be a dear?" And he's gonna mage hand a bottle of this blood wine over to Rerek. "Could you carry this for me?"
Why?
"I don't carry a pack. I'm too small."
Where's the cat?
At this point, Arthur and Jasmine both start running in whatever direction was indicated by his.
Yeah.
Should we follow him? I think we should follow him. He has the bag.
Whoever is the last one to leave the cellar, make me a perception check, please.
That's me.
Okay.
I'm busy with my blood wine. Wait, which is that a D20?
The D20. You're gonna add a 1.
I got a 20.
Excuse me.
Oh, a 20. You definitely hear a sloosh of some kind. That is definitely something moving through this thin layer of liquid that is on the floor, but you don't see anything.
Can I hit it?
You don't. You just hit the thin layer of blood on the floor. You don't hit anything. You just hit the floor. And there's a ripple that goes through the thin layer of liquid on the floor, but nothing.
All right. Can I tell them? Should I tell them what I see?
You can if you want to.
So you're looking at me.
I saw something down there. Might have been a little blood mouse.
What?
Yeah.
We're too
Not
far.
sure. Might be a blood mouse.
We can circle back to that. Arthur's kind of like one of those scent hounds.
Just still running. Just running.
particularly for the undead. I don't know why. He's just drawn to them.
All right, we'll deal with that.
Percy's definitely not as fast as Arthur.
Yeah.
Why do we have to run?
Yeah, so you head out into the vineyard, and it's just non-distinct rows upon rows upon rows of these grapes.
Can I fly up to get a good view of this place?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
Oh, that's only going to be that's an 8 total.
Ugh.
It's just rows of grapes, rows upon rows of grapes. At that point, as you look down, it's almost like looking at a magic eye picture. You know there's probably something there, but you can't find it. It's just pattern on pattern on pattern on pattern that you can't look past.
Okay. I'm gonna follow everybody just 30 feet up in the air from where everybody else is.
Yeah, there is definitely a presence that Arthur is drawn towards. After maybe a minute or two of walking way off into the field, there seems to be a woman kneeling in the mud, taking just handfuls of it and mashing it into her face, as well as grapes, and biting them. There is a red stain that covers her face and drips down the front of her, what you think is probably a uniform of some kind that she would have worn while working at the winery. But she's just stuffing her face with grapes and just mashing the blood-soaked mud into her face. She doesn't even see you approach.
Is this the source of the above game? Is this the source of the undead signal? Like this woman?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Then Arthur's gonna run up as fast as he can, try to sneak attack with the short sword.
You definitely get sneak attack. There is no way that she could have seen you. She is too distracted by the grapes and the mud.
That is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yes, that definitely hits.
Some good grapes.
And that will be 11 damage. Short sword.
Only 11 damage? Oh, right, because you're using your swords.
Yeah, that's the one. Unless you want to go for that kind of 2-weapon thing, but that's more of a combat situation. So I wasn't sure how to.
Yeah, you just whack her with the sword. She definitely turns surprised. She opens her mouth, and you recognize the fangs that are in her mouth are very similar to the creature that was in the chapel, that was trapped under the altar. She is definitely going to take this opportunity. She shrieks and then belches and vomits blood again.
Oh no.
In a 15-foot cone, hitting Arthur directly and spraying onto presumably at least Percy, chasing close after him, and possibly one other person. I don't know who's close enough. But yeah, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Got a crit.
Oh,
Nat 20.
Well, that's lovely.
Yep. For once on a con save.
Percy got an 11.
Am I in range if I'm 30 feet above them? I'm assuming no.
It's a 30-foot cone. Cones are weird. I'm going to say because this is a liquid and not something like fire or wind or ice, it's not going to hit you. It's going to come out more as like a flat sheet rather than a true cone. It just makes more sense. Liquids are heavier than air and fire. So
I would do one too. Hold on. I think I'm right behind them.
All right. So that is
10.
oof. So those of you that failed, you take 13 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by that much.
God damn it.
Arthur, you take 6 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is not reduced at all. Hopefully, I forgot to tell you that your hit point maximum would have reset after a long rest. So you can fix that. I think it was like, what, 14 points or something that you ended up taking? So you can add that back in and then take the 6 points off of that, but don't lower your maximum. And she's definitely going to book it on all fours like an animal off into the vineyard to try and get away. So I don't know if Arthur wants to make an opportunity attack. Okay, you can make an opportunity attack.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take the opportunity attack with the short sword, I guess. Again, we're gonna disadvantage because frightened, and that is a 1.
Ooh.
That's a critical
so you
failure.
Swing, but she's fast, and she books it off into the grapes, practically vaulting over the trellises that are set up, the low wires and trellises that are set up and are sagging under the weight of these grapes. She's just vaulting over them as she's just booking it off into the field.
Hunter's mark?
Yeah, you certainly can. She probably only gets, she's gonna get 80 feet.
Jeez.
Okay. So I'll mark her before trying to fire my bow, which I guess takes another couple of seconds and she gets a little further away.
Yeah.
If she's
But
only
presumably is still within 150 feet.
Yes, she would be within 150 feet. She would be 10 feet within 150 feet. If she goes another 80, that'd be 140.
Okay.
if she's 80 feet away now, can we can the rest of us do stuff?
You certainly can.
Wonderful. So
And the longbow missed. I rolled a 1 again.
Percy wants to go first, if he can here. First, he's going to run 30 feet closer. So now I'm 50 feet away.
She would have moved.
No, she's 140 feet away from me now.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh my
Well,
She's fast. She's fast.
fuck me, I guess. I can't do anything.
Me neither.
Y'all go for it.
Fortunately, Eldritch Blast has a range of 120 feet.
Yeah, so you can definitely just glide forward a little bit and pew, shoot her.
Okay, I'm just gonna glide forward and I'm gonna shoot 2 of them at her.
Mm-hmm.
Percy shouts.
Wait, how far is
right?
she? How far is she again? 140.
That's a nat 20 on one of the
Woo!
then a 17 plus 8 on the other.
Yeah, so roll damage.
I just want to make sure you can't talk.
You just hear shrieking.
Okay.
17.
It's so funny how it's so funny how I imagine everything that happens in this as a comic, and it's both hilarious and scary because of how the monsters are and how we are.
I got 25 force damage on that
Oof.
with the brutal critical adding plus 10.
All right. You hurl the Eldritch Blast at her, and there's almost a comedic, it hits her square in the back, and she just flips face first over one of the trellises and gets up and keeps running.
Can I blast her again if I quicken a spell?
Yes, you can.
I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to quicken another one. 12 plus 8 is a dirty 20, and 13 plus 8 is 21.
Both of them hit.
Oh my god, the fairies is killing this vampire thing.
One's only going to be 13 damage.
Yeah, so you definitely hit her again, as she's trying to vault over this next trellis, you hit her, and she definitely almost stumbles a bit, but she keeps going. She is dead set on getting as far away from you as possible. And she just keeps booking it.
Let's assume Arthur is doing his best to try to keep up. What's our range looking like here? If he's been running while the bolts have been.
Will you go 30 feet around?
My
Assuming you're dashing, you go 60 feet.
Yeah, let's call it a dash.
Yeah, so she gets 20 additional feet on you every round.
Okay, so at this point, she is at extended range. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just going to try to fire again, but let's do, oh, I have to do it this way.
Is she still at 140?
She would have then, unless you would like to act or somebody
Yeah,
else,
She's
she
getting
would
close to
then.
Arthur.
That is a 29 with disadvantage, which is kind of impressive.
Woo. Did you want to do something first, Rerek?
Yeah, I want to move 30 feet.
You can certainly move 30 feet.
Can I attack right after that? Cast
Do you have
spell
something
at
that
her?
could hit her?
Yeah, firebolt is 120 feet.
Oh.
If she's still 140 feet
Yeah,
away.
you can definitely huck a firebolt at her.
Let's do that.
So roll to hit.
18.
Oh yeah, that hits. Roll damage. And just remember it's 2d10. All right. So yeah, you definitely hit her with a firebolt, but she's still booking it.
What the hell?
That arrow that hit, that was a total of 10 damage.
Yeah, so the arrow sinks in. She just keeps running.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And little bit of flavor after that, like impact of the firebolt, Arthur just freezes. He's done. Like there's just like white knuckling the bow, stops running, can't move.
Jesus, are you serious?
Well, she definitely makes it over and away, and you just hear her screaming in the distance, but you don't see her anymore. She's fast.
Apparently, yeah.
What the hell?
Lark's gonna descend a little bit and be like, we should probably hunt that thing down, right?
Oh my god, you're fast. How?
How do we
Well,
track it?
I mean, I am a hunter. Like the party would know this, that I do have the ability to track her, and I did hunter's mark her, but still kind of frozen in fear. So
Yeah.
not
Percy,
moving.
do your thing. Do your
What?
thing.
What thing?
Your thing.
I'm at a complete loss here.
Let me check something, because you would probably know the effect of something, but I just want to make sure that it would work. You might not have this prepared, period, so it wouldn't really matter, but... Nope, it wouldn't work. Never mind.
Cool.
Okay.
How does charming interact with someone being frightened?
Buff game, I like where you're going with this.
I'm not exactly sure. I feel like if it is magical and the other, if one effect was magical and the other effect was not, the magical one would take precedent. Or at least that's how I'm going to rule.
Just charm your friends.
If it was a spell that was affecting Arthur, you would probably need to either fight the spellcaster to get them to drop the spell or do some sort of like magic duel. I feel like
So
But-
Lark. So I feel like, okay, so if this might work, we assume it's just Arthur like freaking out, right? Based on our observations thus far. So in Lark's mind, he's like, I can't have him being useless for the rest of this. So he's just gonna like kind of start gliding down towards Arthur and be like, Arthur, darling, it's not. And when he gets within about 10 feet of Arthur, he's just gonna use this. So anybody within 10 feet of Lark and Arthur needs to make a wisdom saving throw as he does his Fey presence to just AoE charm anybody within 10 feet of him. So if you're standing close to Arthur as Lark descends and gets, not even, he's going to wait till he gets pretty close because he doesn't want to be threatening. So he's just going to get really close and then Lark's going to look pretty. Or yeah. It's going to start like sparkling. His wings are going to, it's glowing, but it's like the black of his wings gets darker while the orange of his wings start glowing a little bit and his eyes glow orange to match. Because he's just kind of just says, Arthur, you can trust me. Come on. As he tries to do his Fey presence. So wisdom saving throws from anybody in 10 feet.
18.
I don't know if I am.
Percy got 22.
My Fey ancestry gives me advantage against being charmed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 20.
Oh.
No,
Please
I know
Like,
you
above-
too well.
Above game, I have a thought. So Arthur I don't know if any of you remember the story that I wrote his backstory. Do you remember Astrid and Bartram, the children that were in there? So Arthur's just gonna look up at Lark, seeing none of the like magical feyness that's going on, but just seeing a small person and go, Bartram, you survived?
Can I just slap him in the face?
There's so much to unpack here. It's just so
Yeah,
much.
I'll say you can definitely slap him in the face, and I'll let you make another wisdom saving throw to see if you get out of your fear effect.
Fair enough.
I had to unmute myself. I had to mute myself. I'm sorry. Oh god.
Are we still going for a charm thing? Is that what we're doing?
I feel like
No.
it failed. Did
Or
it?
you're just
It
slapping me?
failed. Just
Unless
Okay.
is Bruno within 10 feet?
No, he's still like kind of trying to catch up because he was like,
I thought I was still at the house.
Do you not leak?
No.
just standing there watching this all just go down.
Well, I'm investigating the blood mouse.
So
Weird.
Lark goes to slap and gets a 5, so maybe he just pets your face.
I feel like it's more of like you do actually slap him, but there's so little strength behind it that it's that his face doesn't even like move or react. It's just
let me try. 19.
Jesus
I'm going to assume you
Christ.
take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as Rerek just
Yeah.
big
that seems
dragon claw
uncalled for.
just smacks him.
I'm just destroying both physically and mentally this person.
Ow! What the fuck?
So of course you can wisdom saving throw again after that. Just
Okay. That'll be an 8. What am I saving?
Your mentality.
You don't know.
All right. All right.
you're still
that's
in
an
your
8.
head.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that didn't work.
So my trick didn't work. His trick didn't work. You're up, Percy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slap him too.
Oh.
Bartram,
I was-
you have to get to safety. It's not safe out here.
Wait, okay.
The only remote thing I have that would help with this is calm emotions.
You can certainly
wait.
try.
Can I just play it? Be like, oh, but Arthur, this can Lark play up to being Bartram for a minute?
You can try.
Oh god.
Do you want?
God, we're
do you want,
fucking
deception
ruining
or do you want
Arthur today.
persuasion?
Role play within
What?
role play. Have at it.
What should I roll for this?
Deception.
Probably deception.
Oh, I get +7 to that.
Oh my god.
Should I be rolling something here?
Wait, deception is a real
like-
thing. I was guessing.
Yes, it is a real stat.
Should I just do like an intelligence roll or?
I think it's a perception check, isn't it?
We can do that. I mean, I'm
Insight?
genuinely asking. I don't know.
I mean, I think a lot of people do like insight versus attempts to deceive or persuade people.
Yes, insight.
Okay, so let's insight.
I love how we're trying everything but therapy.
That's a 9.
I got a 20, dirty.
Okay, so yeah, you believe this is
Oh
Bertram.
my god.
You know what color we haven't tried yet? Therapy.
Yep, exactly.
Lark's gonna float around Arthur's head and be like, Arthur, there's this mean lady running through the orchard. You have to help us find her.
I think Percy's like, okay, Lark, this is just cruel. This is just wrong on so many levels. And I'm going to put a hand on Arthur's shoulder and I'm going to cast Calm Emotions, which is not a charm effect, so you don't have advantage against it. And you can choose to fail if you want. It says that in the spell description.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I'm going to say, you've seen a lot and been through a lot. And I want you to know that I'm here if you need to talk. I'm asking a lot of you. And it would only be fair if I would at least listen to your troubles. And I cast Calm Emotions, which removes frightened effects.
Okay, just like flat out. That's it. Period. End.
I think you have to make a saving throw, but you can choose to fail that saving throw. There are
But
several
you-
spells like Calm Emotions and Zone of Truth that if you are subjected to it, you can choose to fail it.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
Bruno's
well-
just in the background, like staring from afar.
What's the save?
You'd have to save against me, which would be a 15.
So wisdom.
Well, I know. I mean,
or is
what?
it charisma?
Oh, it's a charisma save.
Charisma.
Okay.
And you
Let's-
don't get
let's
advantage because
just-
it's not a charmed effect.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Did you fucking crit it or something?
Yes.
All right, you're on your own.
I crit. No. I'm gonna choose to fail the save.
Okay.
Oh god.
As the magic washes over you, you feel your heart rate and blood pressure drop. You feel your body cool off. You feel your mind move back into the present moment, and your vision focuses. The haze goes away. You do have vague memories of the past, maybe half hour since the Hedgemaze infernoed, walking past the chapel and the graveyard, walking past the frog people, coming to the stables and maybe firing your bow at something. Definitely a lot of undead things. Walking here to the winery, walking downstairs, walking upstairs, walking across just endless grapes, and you come back to this moment after feeling the magic wash over you. There are some memories, they're fragmented, they're foggy, but you know where you are and you know who you're with.
Okay, Arthur's just gonna like turn around and like look at Percy. He doesn't say anything. He just kind of like nods.
Right. Glad you're feeling a little better. I want to help anytime I can.
Just nodding. He's not really like ready to be speaking yet, but like
Yeah.
he's a little bit better.
We have a little silent moment. I'm like, wait, where's Bruno?
Oh God. And like that's the first opportunity he takes to speak is when he remembers Bruno and his ass.
So Bruno, what have you been doing this whole time?
I'm playing whack-a-mole with the floor.
Oh my god.
And we just go back to him and it's like all the blood from the floor is all over him.
Covered in blood.
Well, we are going to do an interesting little aside because stuff and things and reasons. So as you are whacking the floor, you definitely hear occasionally the sloosh of something. And you turn around and there's nothing. The water ripples a little bit. And then one time when you hear the sloosh, you turn around and there is a vaguely shaped something that has risen, not from the wine, but is the wine. And it is going to...
I'm going to hit it.
As you go to hit it, it rushes forward. And since you guys are going at it at the same time, roll initiative with this thing.
20. Hi.
21.
Well, you're not there yet.
Oh. I thought we all...
What did Bruno get?
All of them.
21.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, you're definitely going first. As this wave of wine rushes towards you, you get to act. What are you doing?
I can't do spells anymore, right?
You have a few spell slots left. You have second level spell slots left. So if you can use second level divine smites or whatever these are, or just attack.
Divine smite.
Cool. So you have to make an attack roll first.
Yes.
I got a 5.
So that's 12 to hit.
I got a 12.
Ooh, as you swing your flail at this thing, it's a little dark, and this thing is made entirely of liquid. Your mace, your...
He gets a second attack as well.
Yes, your flail goes through it for the first attack as it continues towards you, and you attack again.
One.
You hit this thing again, but it doesn't seem to react. And this, whatever it is, wraps itself around you, or at least attempts to. Is 18 enough to hit you?
Yes.
Yes.
So you now have this thing made of the wine that is on the floor swirling around you as you fight against it.
Who will save Bruno?
And oh dear, good thing I have enough D6s.
Will Julius save Bruno?
You're going to take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing just slams into you and begins swirling around you, frothing and horrible. And it is now your turn. You are grappled, which means that you can make... Oh, you are also restrained, which means I think attacks are at disadvantage.
What about Julius? Can't he attack?
Julius is still free. So Julius can do things. Let me just quickly look up restrained to make sure that it does what I think it does. Oh, you can still make attack rolls.
What does it do?
Teleports you. Where you
I'm gonna use Misty Step.
Oh, that's a very good idea. You vanish from this thing and it collapses back into the water for a brief moment before reforming, and you appear where? Within 30 feet, I think.
On the stairs.
You appear on the stairs, staring down this thing that rushes towards you, but stops at the bottom of the steps. Swirling angrily, it then loses form and drops into the floor, and the water ripples, and it's gone.
Well, I'm gonna go back downstairs again.
And I'd like to think that this is the moment that everybody comes in as you're marching back down the stairs towards the whatever is down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Bruno, are you in here?
The blood rat is more like a blood tornado, guys. Help me out here.
Oh yeah, I guess we'll go down the stairs.
All right.
Oh, the fearless Bruno needs help, does he?
Well, I'm used to killing things that are not blood yet. So killing something that's already blood is a little tricky, out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, so you walk down the steps back into this basement and you don't hear anything.
Well, where is it?
Just starts whacking the ground again with your flail, just kicking up tons of this blood wine as I knock my water bottle over, just smashing the ground. And then you hear the sloosh again. And I'm
You guys
actually
heard
going
that sleuth,
to
right?
1, 2, 3, 4. You all turn to see Percy standing in the middle of the floor, probably with the light cantrip up,
Yeah.
just looking around, and this tidal wave of wine just forms behind him and then goes straight for him. Does a 14 hit?
It doesn't, no.
You hear it, you see, in a split second, you see the people around you looking behind you, and you turn and step back as this wave crashes down and reforms, spiraling up. And this is when everybody's going to roll initiative as it attempts to attack you again.
Lark got a 10.
Lark got a 10.
I got a
16.
1.
Oof. Rerek got a 1.
I kind of like my fake roll from earlier. It's just 20.
It is Percy's a
Arthur
13.
got 16.
Arthur got
Sorry.
16.
Yep, and Percy was 13.
Yes.
Percy was 13. And what did Bruno get?
I already rolled. Re-rolling?
16.
14, 16.
16. All right, so it looks like it's a tie between Arthur. Actually, no, it is not, because it is this thing's go first, and it's going to go for you again, Percy. A 21 hits you, I'm assuming?
That'll do it, yeah.
So this thing once again crashes to the ground and seems to spiral around you, and you feel it grabbing at you. Ooh. You're going to take 16 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing just slams into you, and it swirls menacingly around you cresting and foaming while at the same time squeezing you. You are restrained.
Uh-oh.
Next up, it is a tie between Bruno and Arthur. Whoever's dexterity is higher can go first.
Probably Arthur.
Yeah, my dex is maxed out. All right. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna fire at it from the stairs with the longbow. But you know what? Actually, let me see what I have for spell slots. I just used Hunter's Mark. I don't know that I want to lose the mark on What's Her Tits, so we're gonna Zephyr Strike it. And that's gonna give me. Are you done rolling yet? Okay. 27 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay, that's gonna be a D8.
And you would get sneak attack because you had advantage on the roll, and there is an ally within 5 feet, i.e. inside of it.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to make sure I got my dice right. D8, sneak attack, Zephyr Strike. Good. That will be 18 damage total.
You shoot this thing with your bow, and as it pierces in, it's almost like there's a part of it that's jelly in a weird way. The arrow sticks out of the flowing water, the water flowing around it before finally the arrow moves with the liquid. You've definitely done something to it. And I'm assuming it is Jasmine's turn next.
Yep, I think we are just gonna go. It's not gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a straight up bite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And that is going to be, let me double check and make sure I have the right thing. Yeah, 11.
Woo. She runs up to this thing and she chomps at it. She does convey to you, this is weirdly like drinking from a hose. There is no body there, but she definitely felt resistance as her jaw bit down on this thing. And it's definitely done something to it. But there's nothing solid there. It's all liquid. So
Yummy.
Next up is Bruno. This thing has Percy wrapped up in it. Jasmine has just stuck her face into it. And Arthur has shot it from the stairs. What would you like to do?
Does it look like it's hurt?
What?
It's a giant, weird wine tidal wave. Hard to tell.
Well, I feel like fire might help. Melt it, evaporate it.
Or ice.
Sure.
I'm gonna have Julius breathe fire on it.
All right, roll an attack roll.
$20.
That hits. Was that an unnatural 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
1d4 plus 2.
I think we decided it was a D6 for the breath weapon that it has.
6.
6 points of damage. Oh, nope, not backspace. It's actually not 6 points of damage. As the fire shoots out of Julius and hits this thing, the fire hisses and fizzles out as this thing continually rushes around it. It did something. There were some bubbles, there was some smoke, but it didn't do what you thought it would do. I believe you still have a turn. You didn't do any, you didn't perform an action or a bonus action or
Can't
anything.
hit
So
him.
Can
He's liquid.
the other people hit him?
Did it do anything?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll hit him. Plus what? 14.
that hits. You rush up to him you rush up to this thing constricting one of your party members with a flail, and you smash it. Liquid goes flying everywhere and it shudders. It doesn't make a noise, but it reacts.
So that's 6 damage. Then I'll do it again. 13.
That just hits.
For another 12 points of damage.
12. Ooh. Yeah, you smash this thing twice with your flail. It sends liquid everywhere. And it is certainly wavering and shuddering with every smash you make with it. You have done some significant damage to it, you think. Next up is Percy. You are restrained by this thing, which I did check, and it does not prevent you from making attacks, and it doesn't give you disadvantage,
Okay.
which is interesting. I thought it would. Apparently it doesn't.
Cool.
I thought it gave you disadvantage on attack rolls, but
I think, yeah, Percy's just gonna do with Spirit Guardians.
It looks like it does give you disadvantage on attack rolls, at least according to Roll20.
oh. Yep, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage. Yep, it does. Okay, well, you
Well,
Spirit Guardian, so
Spirit
it doesn't really
Guardians
matter.
Doesn't do attacks.
So you're gonna have to wait till its turn for that to
Yeah.
take effect.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to do before we move to Lark?
I guess I'll healing word myself.
You can't because that would be casting 2 spells.
Oh, you're super right. Yeah. Nah, man. Nah, I'm good.
All right. So it looks like Lark, you're up as the Spirit Guardians sort of appear around Percy as this thing is wrapping him up. What would you like to do?
First thing Lark does, he's just gonna vaguely comment. He's gonna be like, you know, this isn't the scenario I thought I'd see Percy tied up in first. I suppose I have to help. He's got bonus action. He's gonna hex this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then for his action, he's going to Eldritch Blast.
Of course.
It's the thing I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. It's what I live for. Well, that's sad. Those are 2 19s plus 8, so that's 27 a pop.
Oh yeah, that hits.
1 away from a nat 20 again.
Oof.
Should I give you the necrotic separate from the force damage? Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Just give them to me together.
Okay. 16 plus another 8 is 24 damage.
Oh yeah, you with both of these beams just blast this thing to smithereens. It is gone. It turns back into liquid, splattered across the wall, and that is it.
Oh god.
Yeah, you are covered in wine that probably has a good amount of blood in it.
Can we all
I
do a
missed
group
my
hug?
turn again. Second time
Let's do a
already.
group hug.
Does the mending cantrip clean things?
No, but I believe
Good.
prestidigitation does.
I don't have that. I've thought
I have it.
I just want to point
Let
out
me
why
do
it's
it.
green AF.
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Like, do I do it like a bewitch? Like the bewitched?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting for a Dragonborn to do with its nose, with its
Snout?
snout. I'd like to think that you think you're wiggling your nose, but instead you're just flaring your nostrils and some smoke comes out of it. And somehow it still makes the little sound effect. And then whoosh, you're just suddenly clean.
Yeah. Wait, does it clean the whole place or just me?
I believe it cleans a 1 foot cube at a
It
time.
cast a few times on me.
Yeah.
So okay.
Rerek's just sitting here wiggling his snout for the next like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
While Rerek cleans Percy, Lark's he's just gonna be like, I wonder, and he's gonna point his wand at the floor and cast Prestidigitation to see if like the blood wine will clear up for a minute.
It does. Almost as if something is set in the water for a moment. Something invisible is set in this liquid. It moves away from the floor and then sloshes back in.
Okay.
You get the sense that you have, in a way, removed a small, tiny segment of it, but it's almost like this would be ladling the wine out of the wine cellar, one tiny ladleful at a time.
Okay.
And there is a lot of cellar to do that too, so it would take a while.
And we
He's
just
gonna
the
be
two of us.
He's just gonna be like, that's not what I'm doing with my day. But it's good to know that it's possible.
Well, I think we've taken care of that. There's still the issue of the vampire woman running around.
Do you remember her, Arthur, when you were away? You tracked down a vampire lady and you attacked her. We got a few good licks in, but she's rather fast.
I remember tracking something. I assume that's the creature you're talking about. I can still sort of feel her, but I won't be able to for very much longer.
Is she close enough to take care of?
Above gate? Is she close enough to take care of? I can concentrate on Hunter's Mark for a total of 1 hour. And that just gives me advantage on checks to try to literally track her, to find her.
Okay, so it's not like a GPS marker or anything.
No, I mean, but I do also have the primeval awareness thing, which sort of could help, probably.
Yeah.
But...
You get the sense that she's probably booked it pretty far. She's probably not going to come back for a while. She's probably going to hide. You get the sense that she is not a confrontational creature. She has the space to escape, so she's going to. This wasn't like the literally in a tiny box one that you faced under the chapel that would attack you because it had no other place to go. It was permanently cornered. She's probably booked it pretty far. She's probably still in the vineyard since she's clearly some kind of vampire. She needs the blood to survive. She's probably not going to leave the safety of the vineyard where she knows she has food. But she's booked it pretty far, and the vineyard seems like a pretty big place.
Fair enough. I'll kind of like, as a wise hunter, share that information with the group. Just she's probably not worth tracking.
Yeah. So Percy would be like, well, I think that might be enough for one day.
Dreadfully disappointed there isn't.
We need a hot spring episode.
Oh, yeah.
We can take a rest, and then in the morning, Bruno, you can take one of the horses and see how.
I will say you would probably know, having a cousin that is at the Academy of the Midnight Arts or the Staff of Night. There's some pretty powerful magicians there that could probably very safely and very instantaneously send him back.
Yeah, I'll I'll give you a note to take to my cousin. He should be able to find passage for you.
But
Very well.
what's the fun in that, though? Aren't you a man of adventure, Bruno?
I do like a good zombie horse.
You could take a zombie horse. I know the location of a very reliable fairy ring if you want to give that a try.
No, we're not doing no.
This again.
How many times you're going to try to send people to that cursed forest?
Perhaps I'll meet up with another 4 strange men and have another strange adventure while I'm abandoning the army.
My cousin should be able to take care of things. Let's just go retire for the night.
Very well.
I'm assuming you meander your way back to the carriage house.
Yeah.
Yes, I will say along the way, as you're walking, you actually hear your mother's voice, Percy, in your head via a sending spell.
Okay.
And she says, if you get a moment, please come back to the hospital. There are events that have happened that I'd like to discuss. And we're actually going to end the episode there because it is 11:35 and there is no point in trying to make a second episode out of this. So we're just going to do another mega episode. So
Yay.
make sure you stay tuned to find out, does Bruno make it back to Caliburn? And what events happened at the hospital? What strange happenings have happened? And we will see you all next week. If I can actually get things to work.